This is the new world that we are facing. 15% is a stark reminder to all of us that we are now facing a very unpredictable and uncertain operating environment. How the new tariffs are going to be implemented is yet to be announced, and how countries around the world will respond is also still unknown. And in all likelihood, this new 15% across-the-board tariff will be applicable to Singapore, and we need to be prepared. And we will continue to work with our counterparts in the US to seek greater clarification on how the tariff will be implemented and more details about the new round of tariff implementation, bearing in mind that there's still significant uncertainty surrounding the tariffs because Section 122 has a time limit, and therefore we can expect the tariff will continue to be changes in time to come. The key word really is uncertainty. And what is even more important is how the rest of the world will react, including those who already have a tariff agreement with the US. I would say that if the tariffs apply across the board, then it doesn't affect the relative competitiveness. And therefore, I think it will still have opportunities for Singapore to be able to continue to do business with the US. But at the end of the day, tariff also means higher costs globally. And with higher costs, it will slow down economic investments, it will slow down trade, it will slow down demand. And therefore, I think there will be headwinds going ahead. So it is something that we have to always bear in mind. But what is more critical really is the uncertainty it brings. There may be new legislation that the US would use to continue with the tariff, one form or the other. So I think it is something that we will have to just look at the details and observe how it develops and make an assessment as we go along. I think the most important task in front of us now is really to share the information with our stakeholders, with our companies, with our unions, with our workers, and also to hear their feedback. Because different companies, different enterprises would experience different impact, and the ability to respond will also be quite different. We are quite happy to listen to them and to see whether they need additional support. But for the immediate future, I think the announcements at the budget will be sufficient for them to weather the immediate impact. But it is important for us to continue to help them navigate through this uncertainty and volatility. I think this is something that's most unsettling. Budget 2026 has rolled out a series of measures to support our companies, our enterprises, and help our workers and our households. And if need be, and if necessary, we are prepared to roll out more measures, and we will continue to monitor the situation. We need to chart our direction to make sure that Singapore will continue to be competitive, and our economic structure will be resilient so that we are able to withstand these shocks from the external factors, so that we are able to continue to operate, find our niches, find our position in the world, to strengthen our competitive advantage as a hub business with our leverage on our connectivity, our well-trained workforce. It would be unproductive for us to assume that we are going to get out of this tariff structure anytime soon. I think better for us to accept the fact that we are going to have to live with this uncertain world going forward. If the 15% minimum tariff is applied across the board, I think if there are no exemptions, it will be very difficult to negotiate for exemption. So it is also important for us to think about what are our alternatives, how we can look for new markets, how we can go for higher value-added products, or whether we can focus on some of the sectors that the US would need and would give exemption on these tariffs. The way forward is to be nimble, to be flexible, to be adaptable, to leverage on our strength. This way, we can then be able to have a resilient economy that will be able to withstand all the shocks from the external factors.